Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything.
That's right.
I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect Penny, and the lovely Laura McReynolds. And we have a plethora of things that we're going to talk about on the show. However,
Woohoo! Yes.
have a shout out to my father.
Shout out.
Thank you for the infomercial. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be careful that we do not speak over one another. Evidently, the last few shows.
You said what?
The last few shows we have been speaking over one another, which if you are a radio listener, makes it more difficult to understand us on the radio. So I felt like it was a very valid critique. So thank you for that. We are going to attempt to remedy this, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen?
So time out. You were pausing a couple of times. Was what I was just doing? Is that what he's also inferring to?
No, we just have to make sure that we are not talking over top of one another.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay?
Ooh, waiting for a pause is going to be hard. Because is the pause a pause, or is the pause a moment we could jump in?
It's a very intriguing question. It's a very intriguing question.
We will see how it goes. I totally agree with the sentiment. I'm just not sure how to make it happen, because I just paused.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
And I wasn't done with the thought.
Oh, we're talking over each other. Oh no!
Oh, there
God.
we go.
Oh God!
Anyway.
But we'll try.
Okay, so
We
see,
can do
I
it.
did think
I
of
think
that.
it's good advice.
Okay, so
Agreed. Oh, sorry.
we have tonight a downcountry meeting
Yep.
with all of our people who are going to Dallas, Texas.
That's right.
And the board, because the board has a meeting after all the people who are going to Dallas, Texas. But before we go into that, because I do want to talk about what that looks like and what that's all going to be, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and it's called, and it has absolutely no bearing on Down syndrome, because actually, I will say, Elliot is the one human on the planet that, to my knowledge, does not do this. However, for the rest of you, do any of you sit there and think, am I a good person? Am I a bad person? Oh, did I ever why did I say that? Oh, that was probably taken wrong. Man, I do this. And then I have these moments and then I pray. I mean, it's Sunday, so we might as well talk about this
Might as well.
on the show. But I mean, does anybody else do that? And then you get out the little, whip and you kind of beat yourself up for a little bit because you think you aren't a good person or you should have done better, and then you try again and you make a vow that you're going to do better, and then the next thing you know, you're screwing up all over again, because as soon as I'm going to only have good, pure, happy thoughts. I'm only going to have good, pure, happy thoughts. I'm only going to have good, pure, happy thoughts. And then, whoops, there it is. You think, hey, bozo, get out of my way. And I'm like, well, crud. I mean, anybody else, or is it just me?
I do. Not necessarily am I a good person. I overthink things. I do certain things, and the wife knows exactly where I'm coming from with this, because she gets, how we say, annoyed that I overthink too often, because I'll do something that was right, that made sense, but I didn't maybe get the reaction that I wanted. And again, this is a very broad brush, kind of how I'm describing it. And then I go, did I do that right? Was that the right thing to say? Should I have done that? What do you think they're actually thinking, though? Do you think they're kind of annoyed with me? Do you think they're annoyed with me? And
Now I understand why the wife is annoyed.
Yes.
No, I do that too.
Yeah.
It drives Tony crazy.
I know. I
mean,
overthink all the time.
So
Yeah.
I know what he just described is my brain, because I'll do something and then I'll be like, oh, did I do it right, or I didn't do it right, or oh my gosh, did they like that meal? Did they not like that meal?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, well, I probably, and if something, then I can't let it go. So then I'm like, Tony, now you really think, and I have to talk it through
That's
until
100% what I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
the duration, and he is absolutely with Laura, just alone. He and the wife
He's
would
done
be,
and just letting you continue, but he's done.
Well, but I can't I want to stop. I would love
But
to
I
get
can't.
off I can't get off the little
can't.
spin cycle that is
No.
my brain.
Do you catch yourself doing it more late at night? In the middle of the night, you wake up maybe at 3, and you're and then you just sit there and you ruminate. You're like,
I find that I do it. Right now, what we're going to talk about is we have a board meeting tonight with 115 people we're taking to Dallas, Texas. I think I probably do it more when I have a ton of stuff on my plate, because I think I'm terrified I'm going to drop a ball somewhere. And
Sure.
you know what you're going to do? You're going to drop a ball somewhere. But I think I have a tendency to like just get kind of caught up in, well, did I do that right? Did I do that wrong? Am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? Did I say the right thing? Did I? And then I kind of like what you were talking about with the, well, I did the right thing, or I'm pretty sure I did the right thing. And then I come back and then I'm not sure that I did the right thing because maybe I should not have done the right thing. And so, yeah, I do exactly what Ryan just described over and over and over again.
I think it maybe turns into like confidence too in yourself, because, or at least it does for me. So like I'll equate it to like my job. So like I do my show in the morning, and I love what I do, but I take it very serious. But I know I do a good job, but like I'll walk away from it going, did I do that right though? Like, was that actually a good show?
That was
okay?
my example when Kate came in and said this. Only mine was 25 plus years ago, which is crazy that that's what I was driving to the studio this morning, thinking about something from law school in 1997 or 6. And I slept off this silly project, and I'm driving here today, 20 whatever years later, going, that was really dumb. You embarrassed yourself in front of your classmates. And, you know, it's amazing that professor even gave you a decent enough grade to pass that class. And
far from that.
And so, but you're saying you were judging your work.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I mean, I do it in other settings too, but I think I sell, well, it is the same sort of thing, isn't it? It's self-judging.
Yes.
And you're right, Elliot doesn't do it at all ever.
No.
Not
Elliot,
why do you think that is?
not one inhibition, not
It's a
one
superpower.
It's a
self-doubt.
No.
Just march up and get her done.
Because he doesn't do. I mean, like, hey, how you doing? And now, so just if you're listening to the show, what I just did is I went and I tapped Laura on the arm and I said, hey, how you're doing? Pretending like I was Elliot meeting some random stranger. Okay, so if I did that after I did that, you know, or even just when I did to like, oh my gosh, should I have tapped you on the shoulder? Was that like, were you? I would question all of those things. He questions none of them.
Right.
And it's a gift and people respond to it. But it's a beautiful little extra addition for that extra chromosome because...
Oh, it is.
I mean, I cannot imagine how freeing it would be.
I guess I'm gonna,
Elliot.
I kind of want to ask this to you, Penny, from like a psychological standpoint. Like, you know, it's kind of a simplistic question, but like, why? Like, why, I guess, do people do that? Like, because again, for me, it's... A lot of it comes back to like my profession and like not maybe having confidence in my work and like and some of that isn't a bad thing because you do want to take a step back and reflect how can I do better, right, in whatever you're doing. So that's not like necessarily a bad thing, but when you overdo it,
Type A,
constantly,
type B,
are just what am I doing? Why do we do that?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't think little kids do it either.
No. Not at all.
But Elliot continues to not do it, even though he's growing up.
Well,
Before Penny answered, I just wanted to say that because I just had a conversation with a friend about something, and I don't remember what, but we were talking about my 12-year-old self and how exuberant I was about something. I know now what I was talking about. Actually, it was about being baptized. My 12-year-old self at church camp, and I was like, woo! And like, you know, unabashedly excited. Versus my friend was baptized as an adult, and she had expected that kind of reaction and exuberance, but she said as an adult she was more reserved because she didn't want anyone to like
Judge her.
Yeah. And she didn't even realize until after the fact that she was afraid of being judged.
Well,
But that was the conversation I was just having. So I don't know, back to Penny or back to Kate, but
might also have to do with
That's a good point.
personality type. I mean, because I don't know that 100%. Some kids do worry about if you're. I think some of it has to do if you're a type A, type B personality.
I'd agree
if
with
you're
that.
a type A personality, and you are somebody, because type A's, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this, Penny. I mean, your goal is to be quote unquote, for lack of a better word, perfect at all times and all things to everyone in all capacities.
Yeah.
Which is really freaking exhausting and an impossible standard. And you can recognize it all day long, but if you're truly a type A, like you still do it. And I don't know, it's very, I don't know, it's interesting. And I have
do
a
you
15-year-old
develop
that's
into
total
a type A? Or okay,
that?
so
Say it
let's
again.
talk about the 15-year-old. when the 15-year-old was 2 or 3.
Type A.
Really
Since birth. It is
fascinating.
It has been
Because I became one, but I don't think I was one. So that's why I asked.
That's a
Maybe
good
you
question.
were and you didn't realize it though.
yeah.
Maybe it was underneath.
This
and
is
it's
your
just
mom
wasn't-
question. We need to call
Yeah.
your mom on this. We need to phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Because I know, like, for the twins, I mean, they're 3, and they will say hello to absolutely everyone. They will, like, they've gone up to someone in the store and given them a hug. And I'm, like, trying to connect the dots, like, how do you know this person? And then I realize they don't know this person at all. And, like, but we're right there, right? Or, like, our neighbor 2 doors down, they'll yell, "Who's that?" And then I say, "Oh, it's the neighbor." And they go, "Hi," and they'll like say hello and then walk away, like zero care in the world. And again, they're 3, but yeah, I think now again, you said it. Your 15-year-old, she, again, was like that forever. But I have to imagine there's something where you act like that there, and then it turns to a point age-wise where maybe you do start to care a little bit.
And I do think sometimes this can turn into like a neuroses almost, I would assume, because, I mean, like, I do know, and I love some people who have some pretty extreme anxiety.
Yeah.
So much so that it will keep them from doing different things. And I feel like that's a whole different ball of wax, if your anxiety gets to a clinical definition of it. But I don't think what we're talking about is necessarily anxiety. It's not that anxiety, it's more it's a introspection.
I think it can
But-
play a role because I have a hard time with anxiety, terrible hard time with that. Like I get really bad with it, but I'll still be outgoing and do those kind of things. I mean, shoot, I told
Because
him-
you have to do it anyway. It's called do
Right.
it. That's so funny. you
But I
said
also
that.
like it though. But I like being outgoing. I like being that kind of person. But I have really bad anxiety with a lot of just things and stuff, if that, for lack of a better way of saying it. But it's just, I'm cognizant of how am I doing that? Why, what am I doing? How are they judging me? This, that, and the other. Like, am I doing it right? Blah, blah, blah. And I kind of get sucked down a rabbit hole sometimes because I don't know if that's me trying to push for quote unquote perfection or I don't know.
I was going to interrupt Penny. So
No,
go.
no. You're good.
No, here's what I'm going to say. I think, and this is the assumption that I'm operating out of, I assume most people, to a certain extent, do what you and I are describing.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably, based on your personality type, some differences. I do think that there are some people who are hardwired, and actually, my husband and my father probably, I think, they have that ability to, I made the decision, it's done. What's past is past. What's done is done. And Tony
Move on.
does not second guess himself ever.
Once the decision's
That's
made.
cool.
Actually, I mean, like it was even like in like one of the they made him do at work one of those psychoanalysis things, and it was like and he was like, "This I cannot even believe I had to do this," but he did it. But it came back, and he was like, basically, saying that you makes a decision and it's done, and
Yeah.
He's like, I already knew that. Already knew
yeah,
that.
I mean,
Right.
like, and he's like, and I think that is, sometimes I tell him, like, I wish I could do that. Like, yeah, I screwed up, move on. You know what I mean? It's over. Drop it, walk away.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, Laura, 20 years later, pulling something out
Flogging myself.
Still worried
from
about it.
1997, pulling something out of the box.
I think to answer it, I think it's everything actually, because I mean, there's nature and nurture, and nature creates this person. And there are some people who are just, God gave them just a little bit more anxiety, and it's very much a medical, physical component of who you are. But also, nurturing, sorry, no, I said that wrong. Nurturing shapes you. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the beauty of living and existing with people, is that they do shape us. So I'm sure if we all sat back and reflected, there are different people who inspired us, encouraged us, and tried to get us going in a positive direction. Or sometimes there are people that just kind of like derailed us and interfered with who we are and helped us create more anxiety within ourselves. And so I think it's a little bit of both, that it's nature and it's nurture. I hope nurture really takes the biggest forefront, because we do want to influence people. We want to encourage them. And I think teaching children how to self-evaluate is really, really good, and you're self-evaluating. You're self-evaluating, even though if it's been 20 years ago. You're still like, and why did I do that? Because there's a reason why it pops into your head. Because you still need to remember that to keep you focused, to keep you going the direction you need to be going. I don't think it's necessarily a negative memory. It's just a negative memory that comes back so that we can learn something from it again, because it's like a developmental thing as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. I think so, but
Dr. Penny, that was fantastic right there.
no, thank you. You're
Maybe I'm just a recovering people pleaser. There could be that too.
Could be that. Wow.
I'm gonna go with
so
yeah.
as we close this first segment, though, part of the reason I wanted to bring this up is because in the next segment we are going to talk about the 115 people that we're taking to Dallas, Texas, and also just about the management. We have people who've never flown before. There are anxiety-related issues. There's a whole plethora of things that go into this. But for now, this is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything. Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything.
I forget.
I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect Penny, and the lovely Laura McReynolds. In the first segment, we talked about a whole lot of hot mess of nothing, of me worrying about stuff that really doesn't matter, as well as the rest of everyone worrying about all the things that didn't matter in type A and B personality. So anyway, however, tonight we have a downcountry meeting.
Big time.
And a board meeting following. And the downcountry
If
meeting.
you're listening, tonight would have been earlier this week. I don't want anyone to think as they're listening this morning on Sunday morning. Oh, it is tonight.
Laura, you have a meeting tonight.
I'm a dork.
You have a meeting tonight
Okay.
at 6 o'clock.
Sunday.
Well, guess what?
Now I'm on it.
Guess what,
Now I'm
guys?
on it.
She screwed that up. So in 20 years, she's going to I know that she screwed that up. Way to just drop the ball,
I'm
Laura.
like, wait a minute, it's not okay.
You ruined the whole bit.
Right.
The whole thing.
It was the time warp.
How dare you?
All
Well,
right.
we all feel normal now because we
That's
all
right.
get kabobbled like
So
that.
glad I
I do.
could
I'm
help,
like,
Penny.
oh, that sounded like a dumb moment.
I get what you were saying, though. I
Yeah.
totally understood what
Yeah.
you were saying.
Anyway, sorry, Dad. They're doing it again. We'll work on it. We'll work on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Stop talking over me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Anywho, okay. So tonight at 4 o'clock, we have 150. Actually, it's not all of Downcountry, although any of my people can come at 4 o'clock. But it predominantly is the 115 people who are going to the National Down Syndrome Congress in Dallas, Texas. And they're coming tonight to get their hotel confirmation numbers. They're coming tonight to get their airfare information. They're coming tonight to get their T-shirts, because we did manage to do group travel. Because, pro tip, if you book a group reservation, Southwest will still cover your bag fees. Thank you very much.
Too shabby.
So you don't have to pay for the baggage fees. Anyway, they're coming so we can go over all the workshops, so we can go over the deep dives, the educator conference, the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group. Hashtag everything is what we're going to be going over. And this year we have a really large proportion of people who have never flown before, and so that brings with it a whole another interesting kind of dynamic to help through. Because if you haven't ever done anything before and you're an adult, it makes you a little nervous to do such things. I mean, like. And even as far as packing, you know, what should I pack? What can I bring? What does TSA allow? What does TSA not allow? My answer to that one is, well, good luck figuring it out, because I get stopped all the time. So,
And sometimes you don't get stopped.
yeah.
You're like, wait, why did I get through with that?
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I mean, in this case, so on one of the flights, the Wednesday flight on the 23rd, there's 69 of us.
Whoa.
The next night on Thursday, next day on Thursday, I think there's 25, and then we have like 8 families driving, and then on Friday we have a small group that's like coming in that morning, and my husband's flying in that night. He's missing all the chaos. But I'm excited to have this gathering for all of our people and for our board to meet, because one of the things we do is we'll go over hashtag everything. My board gets a chance to meet most of these people, because I believe this year we only have one board member who's traveling along with us there are 12 board members for Downcountry. And so I typically beg nicely somebody to go along with, because once you get 50, I can do pretty much solo. But when we get over 50, I need
Yeah.
it's a lot. And it's not that anything, it's just there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to traveling with large groups of people. And so Anyway, one of the things we started this week in preparation is 17 on 7 for 17. And what that is, we're asking and started a fundraising campaign for people to donate $17 in honor of Elliot's 17th birthday, because he is kind of the reason we started Downcountry, just to be fair and honest, because the costs have doubled in getting these people. I mean, to give you an idea, it's a $50,000 hotel bill. It's a $34,000 air travel bill. That's not including the conference registration fees. I mean, so it's been a lot of money that we've been having to raise. And you got to remember, we also did the 90 iPads that was $34,000. So are you guys adding this math up in your head?
A lot of math, a lot of money.
It's a lot of money to be raising when you have no paid staff and no paid employees and all those different pieces. So if you're listening to the show today and you got $17 in your pocket and you see me on the street, I'm just going to tell you right now, you can go on ahead and hand me that 17 and we will stick it in Downcountry's coffers, or you can always go to up@downcountry.com.
That's right, up at downcountry.com.
And there is this beautiful little donate button, and you can donate that $17. Now, if you want to do more than 17, I'm just going to be real honest. I'm totally delighted to have you do so, but I will not lie. We could really use a little bit of extra help this year, because
you can also call
217-617-3568. Ooh, you're
Nice.
good.
Nice.
You're good.
Nice.
But it's really neat this year. We do have the Baby First program. We have 2 different families with new babies. We have the Bridge, a family with the Bridge program and their school district that are coming, and that's not. And then we have all of our other, Downcountry scholarship recipients. They won't be here tonight, or I don't think they'll be here tonight. But we also have a scholarship recipient who's going to a conference called Bridging the Gap. We have another one going to Shape America, which is on ways to include children with disabilities. We are excited. Joining us this year at NDSC, Jen Dancer with the Dancer Love Foundation is coming to help. My God, what all am I forgetting, Laura? There's so many different moving parts. I know what it was. Did you guys know?
Oh.
Global did a thing today on cataracts. Did you know? I did actually not know. I had missed this, but cataracts, and with people with Down syndrome, some of the research there for the eyes, some of the different eye-related things, relates to cataracts. They're doing like cataract awareness for this whole month. Yeah, isn't that cool?
So, wait, say that again. How does it connect to Down syndrome?
Evidently, people with Down syndrome and hold on, I'm going to their page right now, Global Down Syndrome Foundation. And I thought it was super cool. They have Cataract Awareness Month. June is Cataract Awareness Month. Did you know that people with Down syndrome are higher risk for cataracts, even at a younger age, than the general population? According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, that's why routine eye exams are so important for children with Down syndrome. So they've got a whole research into cataracts. How many people do you know that get cataracts?
Yeah.
And yet the research related to Down syndrome also helps benefit the rest of us. I thought it was pretty cool. I had not ever delved into that. So
I got a new hashtag for you.
Really?
Hashtag the rest of us. I kind of like that.
Look at you. Gosh.
I like that.
You just pop in your head just now?
Well, Kate just said it.
I know it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm just thinking that's kind of a cool twist
The rest of us.
Hashtag the rest of us.
because I want to be more like them.
It's true. Because the rest of us need to be more like them.
True.
Yeah. I think that's perfect.
Look, we're all thinking.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that would be taken if everyone would get it, but that's how it popped into my head is I want to be more like, yeah,
Yeah.
Mystery. I want to be more like Mystery.
No. Every day of my life. I'm not even kidding.
Especially when you go to like Walmart or some busy place where you sometimes think people don't have manners, and maybe they think I don't have manners. I have no idea, but sometimes you're like,
I mean, people at Walmart don't have manners.
Sorry, I should not have said a
Shameless
particular
plug.
department store. Sorry, it just popped into my head. I'm gonna regret saying it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna feel bad for the next 20 years.
You're gonna be like, you're gonna
Yeah,
go
will
through
you
the
flog
checkout
yourself
cart.
20 years from now?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, and weirdly, I do flog myself 20 years. I do. Anyway, I'm looking forward to tonight, just because I one of the nice things about actually not being on the national board anymore is I get to spend more time with our people, and getting to meet people here in our community. And so, since we do have so many new families, and since we're growing at a rate that I'm not really sure what to do with. It's nice to be able to meet our people, to find out the needs here in our community. And guys, if you're listening to the show and you think that we don't have a lot of work to do here in this community, we really do. I mean, it'll take the rest of my lifetime and probably my children's lifetime, because there's a large amount of information that is out there that is really important that people get their hands on, that truly affects the quality of a life of children and adults with Down syndrome specifically, but with other disabilities. I mean, I'm getting the wave. The latest and greatest medical and educational information is vitally important for children who learn differently, and for the adults and the people who love them. Anyway, since Brian waved at me, for now, this is #everyone talking about #everything. I'll be right back. Good Sunday morning. This is #everyone talking about #everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect Penny, the lovely Laura McReynolds, and it is
I'm the only one who gets a last name.
Really?
Yeah, I noticed that. What's so
Which is
special
fine.
about your last name?
I don't know. I guess you know what? I do that. I always say Laura McReynolds.
I don't
Yeah,
think
you
you
do.
ever just say my name.
I don't. You're right. I do not.
Fascinating.
So now, 20 years from now, Kate, you're going to remember that when you said her last name and not ours.
No,
I think I have a pretty spiffy last name.
You do.
Muma.
I think it's a pretty good one.
It is.
Move
It's very unique.
Wrong,
It's
no?
very unique.
I think Penny has a great last name too,
She does.
but apparently not good enough Kate.
No, Penny is just because penny. You can't, like you.
Huh?
So I don't know where that came
Why?
from.
Big Bang Theory. Penny.
Oh, that's my ringtone. Knock, knock, penny. Knock, knock, penny. Knock, knock, penny.
Yeah. So, and I told
Oh,
you.
I
follow
still
now.
don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
So I still.
Oh,
don't-
Sheldon. Whenever he wants Penny, he goes and knocks on the door. Penny.
Watch it.
So what's the
so-
reason that I don't get to have my last name said?
I don't know. It's just the way
You
it
had
flows.
something for Penny and you had something for Laura, but
I know. Muma. That better?
see, isn't it a fun last name?
It is a fun one.
Very fun.
It is a fun last name.
I think it's a good one.
It's grand.
you
Simply
have a great
grand.
last name as well.
No, I do not like my last name.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
sorry,
your name
Tony.
is awful.
No.
Terrible.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Garbage.
No one can pronounce my last name. No one.
Dorothy.
Yeah. No, that's not how you say it.
I know.
No, don't even know.
How are
That-
you supposed to say it?
Dorothy.
Dorothy. And it's not at all how it's spelled. Like door with a T.
Dorothy.
Oh.
Really?
Dorothy.
I've never said it right.
No.
Sorry, Tone.
I think I put like 3
So 20
syllables.
years from now, you're going to
think it
remember that you haven't been saying
Yeah,
it.
no, people say Dottery, Dottie, Dorothy, Dee. I mean,
I
they
say
say
Doherty.
Doherty.
I say Doherty.
No, Dorothy.
Dorothy. I will
Dorothy.
now from now
So you've
on.
been saying it with a D. It's Dorothy.
Yeah.
Dorothy.
See, I knew that.
Anyway,
But I've added an
Cannot
extra
stand it.
syllable, is what I've
yeah,
done.
the deal was supposed to be that the first 20 we'd be Doherty, and then the second we go back to my maiden name. However, Tony's like pretty much like, no, you're going to stick with the Doherty. So I guess it's too late to trade him in. I'm
What was
stuck
the
with
original?
him.
What's the original?
No, I'm not going to say that
What was the
one.
original?
No,
Come on.
no.
Maybe.
Anyway. Anywho, I'm a woman of many names. And, so, anywho, going on. I also have something else, since we've already been all over the roadmap on this show. Some shows are just like that. And
Just
today's
the way the
show,
cookie crumbles.
it's just it's June. It's June 22nd. I mean, so we also August 16th have the Tri 21 event coming up with 4 bands at the Hannibal Wyman's Pavilion and Hannibal. It will be a full day. It is free and open to the public. Matt Halley is throwing it for us. I need to talk to him. Maybe next week we can get him on the show.
I was just going to ask, are we going to have Matt and his lovely wife on the
I
show?
think we
She
need to
came
have them
last time.
come in, and they need to talk about it, because Matt handles everything with this August 16th fundraiser. I mean, he is the one large and in charge on it. But I recently talked to a friend of mine, or actually 2 different friends of mine, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? So excited to play for you." And I'm like,
No.
And
Were
he's
you?
like, you didn't know? I'm like, well, he gave me the band's name, but I didn't like make the correlation. Like, so anyway, I have two different friends who are like playing. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, thanks. I'm like, Matt does it all. Like, I don't know anything, but
That's awesome.
anyway, it's 4 different bands. Hannibal Riverfront. It'll be so much fun. It's on a Saturday this year. I mean, it's going to be a grand time. It's Goodwill donation for the food. I mean, they're
You met one of your babies first last year at the.
I did. I met one of my babies first last year at the Hannibal Riverfront, and so it's exciting. And huge thank you to Neiman Foods and County Market. It's not County Market. Neiman Foods and
There it
Pepsi.
is.
See
There you
there.
go.
I'm sorry, I'm retraining my brain. Apologies there, but Neiman Foods and Pepsi for all of their hard work with it because it's really amazing. And it'll be a good time, and it'll be fun because we'll all have come home from Dallas, and it's right before we go back to school, which is why they do it then. They want to thank the teachers and the therapists and kind of give everybody a
fun
last
day.
hurrah.
yeah, a last chance hurrah before school sits in, which, you know, once school starts, it's buckle up, brace
A
yourself.
lot going on.
Oh, it is.
Chaos.
Is this
So-
the first time that the conference has been in Dallas?
No, the conference has been in Dallas. It was in Dallas back in. It's been a bit
been a
since
minute,
it's been,
yeah.
but Olivia was a freshman in college. So what's that? 8 years ago?
Okay.
Say
Okay.
approximately 8 years ago. The conference next year is going to be in Orlando again,
Okay.
and the year after that, it's going to actually be in Denver, Colorado.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's kind of nice to have those next little bit. Denver, from a financial standpoint, will be a thing of beauty. I cannot wait because people can drive to Denver very easily. They do not have to fly, which from a cost savings perspective for downcountry is thrilling. The nice thing about Orlando is flights are cheap.
That's
You know,
true.
so
Nice.
and Dallas, it's not that they were that expensive, but it's not the most expensive, not the least expensive, just a little bit. Most people don't drive to Dallas, although we do have, like I said, 8 families that are driving this year.
Do you have any like outside of the conference stuff that you're planning on doing?
And when I'm down there,
Yeah.
so the hotel is the Hilton Anatole, and quite frankly, with 115 different people that I'm morally
That
responsible
hotel, though,
for.
water parks. I mean,
yeah. Nice.
restaurants
it
on
has
property.
an art
There's-
museum. I
yeah.
mean, it's a huge. It's,
You don't have
it's
to
a-
leave property.
It's
Yeah.
a complex, is
Right.
what
Oh,
it is.
wow.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get to go to Global's Medical Research Roundtable this year. I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
I was
one
going
of-
to ask if the programming looks pretty good for the families, if anyone's excited about certain
I
things
haven't.
they get to.
I haven't seen the workshops. I mean, they have
Oh.
the schedule
Okay.
yet. I haven't seen the workshop selections. I'm excited. Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group is going to be there, so our doctors are going to hear more about the Project Echo stuff. Which, if you don't know what Project Echo is for the Down syndrome community, it's more like Phone a Friend.
Okay.
For let's say you're a provider and someone with Down syndrome comes in and you're a little perplexed about something that they're presenting with, or maybe you haven't ever treated anybody with trisomy 21 before. This is where you literally place a call or an email to this network of national experts on Down syndrome.
Wow, that's cool.
Who kind of direct you. And they're going to actually do a step through the whole process with our providers that we have there. And we have a lot of nurses. We have several nurses from the tri-state area who are going because they do have these situations occur where, you know, either groups or individuals are brought in and they want to know best practice and what they need to be doing. And then we have also our medical providers from here in the tri, so they'll be going to that. So I'm super excited about that. And then I've never actually gotten to attend the Global Research Medical Roundtable, where they really line out all these different things, and it's basically the latest and greatest. So I can't wait to come back to the show and tell everybody about that. I've just always been, with all due respect, so busy managing everybody else, I haven't ever gotten to actually be there and be present for it. And I've had to read everything, like, which I will still do, but it's very nice to be able to actually go and be in attendance.
Be there, hear it
be good.
firsthand,
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Super excited, especially since my dad's not going this year. And what I used to task my dad with is I'd be like, I need you to go here, 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 and here. Take copious amounts of notes and get back to me. I mean, oh my God,
cool.
yeah, I would totally. I'm like, And mom would go and do lots of fun. Like she did a lot of the play based, and it was really cool. But my dad, I'm like, go find out about that. Go find out about that. So it's kind of nice to be able to go
do it
and
yourself.
attend since I don't have my I don't even what you call
Right
it.
hand man.
Right.
Yeah, my right hand man isn't going to be there taking
Well, now
notes
you
for
get to
me.
go take the
Copious amounts.
copious amount.
Copious
of
amounts
notes,
of notes.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of information. Most of our families are a little bit overwhelmed the first time that they go. And it's interesting. We have a family we're sending to the RYR1 conference this year. It's during the same time as NDSC, but we were talking, and they were asking take kids, don't take kids, but we were also like when the dates of stay, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
what I said, well, in this case, we're going to book you Southwest because luckily Southwest still doesn't have change fees, which is lovely. And I said, if you're done, early on Sunday and want to catch a flight home, catch a flight home. But otherwise, we're going to book you through Monday because the information processing, when you are set, you get all this information and it's overwhelming. It's a lot to process and rethink your brain because that actually here in the tri-states, because we're a smaller community, we have a way, that we kind of think, that we do think. And one of the things that when you go and you see some of these super cool things of what's possible or what techniques or it's a lot to take in. The processing piece, you're like, holy smokes. I mean, I still remember when it was my first conference and Tony met that little she had Down syndrome, she had autism, she was waiting to get a cochlear implant, but she had to go totally deaf before you can do the cochlear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She couldn't eat because she had gastrointestinal issues. Like her heart was fine, that wasn't her, but she had gastrointestinal, so she was tube fed and she was reading and writing at grade level.
Wow.
I mean, and I was like, what? And that's when the iPad thing, because she was utilizing her iPad. And I mean, that alone blew your mind. And then Tony almost killed me on an escalator one time. We were going
On an escalator?
Yeah, on an escalator. We're going up an escalator, and then there's the side. It was a side by side escalator where one's going up and one's going down at the same time. And this young gal with Down syndrome was talking to her mom, and Tony literally hit me like, "Do you hear that? Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "What? What?" And he's like, "She can talk." Well, not every individual with Down syndrome has language delays. I mean, I think a lot of people assume that most individuals with Down syndrome have a language issue or a language disorder, a processing issue, or even no. Some of them are crystal clear, and that's not where that extra chromosome causes. Not every person with Down syndrome has a speech-related issue.
Yeah.
And so he did almost literally. He's like, I didn't know that was even possible. I'm like, well, that's what we're here for, is to learn.
But doesn't that say a lot about we're all just so freaking unique?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what label, I hate the word label, but the label that you put on the person, we're all so unique. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ryan gave me the wave. I hope that you'll consider donating up at downcountry.com. If you have ideas for fundraising, I am open to those. You can call 217-617-3568. And more than anything, we would request prayer. Yes. And for now, this is #everyone talking about #everything. See you next week.